comparative adjective. The comparative adjective are used to compare to people, objects, place, or ideas, and show which one possession a quality to a greater degree than the other. A key element is the word then, which always follows the comparative adjective to introduce the second element of the comparison. The weight you for the comparative of adjective depends on the number of syllables it has. And there are comparative adjectives that don't follow any of the rules above. You should memorize this. To expressing to expressing that sometimes process a quality to a lesser degree, you always use the structure less plus objective plus than. The rule doesn't depend of the number of syllables in the adjective. The structure as a sentence using comparative adjectives in English is this design establishes a relationship or superiority or inferiority between two elements. It's a primary a formula that connects subject A with subject B, subject A with subject B. Using the adjective is in comparative form. Here I will detail the main structure for superiority comparisons, then the structure for inferiority comparisons, and the elements that compose them. One, superiority structure, more than. This is most common for use the state the subject one process a quality to a greater degree than subject two. Subject structure is subject one plus verb to be plus comparative adjective plus then plus subject. I will explain the meaning of the structure specifically and then the subject one. This is the point of reference describe a superior of quality. It can be a noun, a pronoun, a gerund, or a complete clauses. And be in the verb generally to be the main verb of the sentence, which must agree in number. Is this with subject one? In most case, the verb to be is, are, was, or were. Is used because adjectives usually describe the state of the subject. In comparative adjective, this is the central piece of the structure. It is adjective that has been transformed for comparison. If the conjunction then, this is obligatory conjunctions that means then is this context. Not what, or that. The second term of the comparison. It should never be omitted. And a subject to or object. And this is the second term of the comparison. Subject one compared to this element. When using a personal pronoun has subject to, you can use either the object pronoun most common in informal speech, or the subject pronoun more informal, often followed by applied verb. Regarding the inferiority structure, less than, it used to state that subject one processes a quality to the lesser degree that subject two. This structure is simpler and more uniform than the superiority structure of the adjective is not modified. Subject one, verb plus verb to be plus less plus adjective plus then plus subject. Its characteristics are the word less is always used before the adjective. The adjective is always keep is the base form. It does not and the applies to adjective of any length, short or long. Rules for the English comparative. A short adjective is one that has only one syllable, or in some case two syllable, ending and in y. The general rule for forming the comparative of this adjective is to add the suffix er to the end of the word. When adjective end in y, this rule applies to two-syllable adjective ending in y. The y is changed to in I before ending er. In the case of consonant, vowel, consonant, adjective. If the adjective ends with the part consonant, vowel, consonant, and has a short vowel sound, the last consonant is a double before ending er. Long adjective. A long adjective there goes with two or more syllables that do not end in y to form the comparative of this adjective. The word more is used before the adjective. It is based positive form. Instead of adding a supply to the end of the adjective, as we do with short adjective, beginning to indicate superiority. A Damian is more expensive than Harvey. The express inferiority indicating that the subject has to quality to a lesser degree. The word less is used. This rule applies to all adjectives, whether short or long. Example: the movie was less interesting than the book. The main source of confusion is the existence of two syllables adjectives that do not end in y. This case sometimes follow the rule for short adjective. At the end of the rule for long adjective, using more. In general, using more is the safest and universally accepted option for any two syllables adjective that does not end in y. Two syllable adjectives. The rule that applies to a two syllable adjective depends primarily of how the words end. Adjectives ending in y. This is the strictest rule for two syllables adjective. They the the y is changed to I and is added. Example: my sister is happier than I am today. Many two syllables adjectives ending is this suffix often follow the short rule ending ear. This is especially common at British writing. Example: that dog is smarter than mine. Most other two syllables adjectives follow the rule for long adjective. More is placed before the adjective in the its base form. This is the safe and most generally accepted for in the modern English. Irregular comparative adjective. Irregular adjectives are those that have a completely new different form in the comparative degree. The comparative form canon be deduced from the base form to they must be memorized. Like all comparative, these adjectives are used within the general structure. They are used to compare to the positive quality of two things or people. Example: your singing is better than mine. They also used to compare the negative quality of two things or situations, indicating that one is of inferior quality or more unpleasant than the other. Example: the second movie was worse than the first. There is a growth of irregular adjectives related to quantity. These are adjective or determination quantity, and they also have irregular comparative forms that are frequently used, as much, the small, little, few, less. Okay, irregular adjective are a small, least, of very powerful words that simply break the syllable pattern. Good, better, well, better, but words far, farther, little, less, much, more. Tips on comparative adjective in English. I'm going to give some tips for using comparative adjective correctly in English, so you can remember them and avoid mistakes. This is the most common mistakes, so it's important to remember and never use the word more and the suffix er with the same adjective. When comparing two elements, subject A and subject B. Adjective has the part consonant, vowel consonant. You have to double the last consonant before taking. Memorize the irregular adjectives, which are few. Don't follow the rules of ear more with these adjectives. Their forms change completely and we must learn them be heard. That's all. I hope this explanation is helpful and improve your use of the comparative adjective in listening, writing, everyday conversations, in in other uses. Remember the importance of a structure of making your message clear and achieve your intention. Bye bye.